Altruism and atheism are truly isms of the greatest hope. They include everybody. The preservation of our planet and our very selves will be dependent upon them. The savings in infrastructure alone would easily eliminate the national debt. China's monetary and political control over so much of the world can be attributed to a few key factors. The government of China promotes only itself, and China's marketing budget clearly outshines all others. They are buying and selling the United States of America. China's ancient expertise, how many dynasties, have systematically and bureaucratically controlled a vast portion of the world population. Christianity and Islam, and to a lesser degree Buddhism and Judaism, these can all be looked upon as nations, eh? The borders are kind of fuzzy, though. Look at the right kind of map and you will see where each is concentrated. You will also see where each has spilled over into the other's territory. Walls have been built in attempts to stem the tides, chain links and levees of futility. The Chinese have given us the greatest wall ever built, whilst living very high on the proverbial hog. They've given us fine dining, people and vases and theater of extraordinary beauty, bird's nest soup, not to mention pasta and fireworks. In China, religion is supported only by the populace. Healthcare, as is offered in Cuba, France, Italy, Russia, and so many other countries, is under a single-payer system. The national government oversees all of it. As opposed to the United States, where the robber barons of the insurance companies, the industrial military banking complex, and big pharma have seized control of far too much of our wealth and resources, our humanity. Many of our colleges and universities are wandering perilously close to eliminating the arts and humanities from their curricula. Philosophy, ethics, theater, creative writing. It has long been established that these are foundational human cultural necessities. President John F. Kennedy told us as much. And his words to that effect impelled his widow to spearhead the creation of the Performing Arts Center that bears his name. This temple of worship, I have personally trod those boards in 5 different productions. The Kennedy Center thrives upon the beating hearts of people of every nation who enter those hallowed halls, yearning to breathe the more refined air of enlightenment. I've heard the Kennedy Center referred to as the tissue box on the Potomac. This institution is fulfilling the promises made by the Parthenon, the Pantheon, the cathedrals of Chartres and St. John the Divine in New York, the opera houses of Milan and Paris, and the theaters of the West End and Broadway. I hold these truths to be self-evident. The false prophecies and the genocide, the infanticide, the war crimes espoused as the will of God in the Bible and the Quran and the books of Nostradamus, as far as I'm concerned, they can all pound sand. They can take a walk. I deem them redundant. It's high time for the people of the planet Earth to reclaim our birthrights, our legacy benefits. Our complacency in this must never be allowed to achieve a level of complicity. And These reparations should in no way require any weaponry whatsoever, except for the sharply pointed words. Communication, yeah? You are likely holding in your hand one of the stepping stones in the development of what is being called artificial intelligence, AI. This device has opened the minds of human history to our daily scrutiny. We can fact check any and all of the shouting that's going on. Most of it is abject propaganda. Alert! Alert! Danger! Danger! Will Robinson! We can turn all of that danger into opportunity. The perils of Pauline that we are all experiencing. I don't know one single person who doesn't see the earth as heading for the swirly bowl, hell in a handbasket. This big show is about to close. No matter how much money we throw at the problem, all of us people and the cattle blowing methane, surely we can't stop all of that. We can't stop that. I eat my quota of lentils, you're going to hear some music. Try as we might, ain't nobody going to put a cork in that orifice. And no amount of political correctness or wokeness. There simply are not enough lily pads and escape pods to go around. I just recently dug up an LP, one of my absolute favorites from the late 60s, Sly and the Family Stone. Even if you're too young, you might have heard Dance to the Music. Like Martha Reeves, we're dancing in the street. Martha's just about to get her own star on Hollywood Boulevard. Yay, Martha. She recently told me that if I didn't stop profaning, she was going to have to leave the table. And I told her, no, Miss Reeves, if you can't stand to hear what I'm talking about, I'm not going to disrupt your celebration. I will leave the table. And I did. Martha Reeves and Sly Stone and Smokey are among the last living relics of my childhood. Sheldon Harnick just hit 99 years old. He's a very dear friend. And of course, Stevie. Happily, he's still with us. Reports are that Sly Stone is living in a camper somewhere not too far from the Hollywood Boulevard. Well, this album I just came across, Stand, Sly and the Family Stone, has a lesser known cut, a track called Don't Call Me Whitey. Now, don't that beat all? Couldn't he be saying that right here and now? Like, are we still that stupid? I like to think that we've made some progress. Al Sharpton and Jesse Jackson a few years ago attempted to get the N-word eradicated. They were saying, we're all just going to stop saying that. Well, we all know how well that went. Anyone can take any word and turn it into a weapon of mass destruction. So let's just stop trying to redact Roald Dahl and Agatha Christie and Dr. Seuss, Mark Twain, for crap's sake. That's just book burning from the inside. Stop trying to monetize the current view of political correctness. That is doing nothing more than to kick that malignant can a little further down the road. It's kicking a dead mule. We don't need to whoop that poor animal anymore. Here's the only way I can see to reduce the panic and aim for a reduction in global warming. Whilst we still have a few degrees of latitude and temperature to hang on to work with, we've got to stop recycling the same old platitudes and take some slow and steady steps toward a greater degree of sanity. We must get the contest out of the equation. Stop yelling at each other and re-enter civility. Even peace, when shouted, ceases to be. You feel me. I know you do.